everybody, welcome back to class. It's week 2 of current issues in leadership studies, and I think we're off to a good start. Last week, if you recall, what we did was we reviewed the case study approach. And what is case study approach? And you guys all did some good research, some good primary research on your own. And again, I'm putting you in the driver's seat in this class. I'm going to be requiring you to do the research and finding the tools, etc., that you're going to need in order to do the research. I'm going to resource you to a certain degree, but it's up to you as almost graduating seniors here in the program to learn how to approach the topics and the methodology. So case study is a very important approach to research. You basically have one person in your population. One person, one object, one subject, one organization, one idea. Case study is the number one of your population. You're looking at one specific instance of something that's interesting, a specific phenomena, event, problem, as the case might be. And I believe for this project, you guys are really focusing in on a challenge that you want to address. And so you're going to be using the case study method to help you pull this together. While you're not developing a full-on case study per se in a technical research sense, you're going to be using that approach and that methodology to help you do this project. So hopefully some of the ideas and the tools you gleaned last week were useful to you as you continue to think through and pull this together. Now this week what we're going to do is we're going to get a little more specific, and I want you to start thinking about and writing about and discussing areas of interest for you personally and what you're going to be doing your case project on. And you probably noticed in your research last week that finding something that's interesting and important to you is a very important component of a case, because you have to do the research, and this has to be something that's meaningful and important, maybe a personal passion of yours, something you'd actually like to see addressed. Maybe you have some experience with in the past, or maybe something that you want to have experience with in the future, but find something that is interesting to you. So this week, what we're going to do in the discussion is we're going to actually explore topics. And I'm asking you to give me 3 potential topics for your case project. And then I'm going to ask you, out of all 3 of those, which one do you think is the most important? So dream a little bit here, do some brainstorming, think about your ministry, think about your culture, think about your context, think about your work. Wherever it is that you have a personal interest and you feel like you want to do some research on, pick areas within that. And it can be, as I mentioned, it can be kind of a larger, secular kind of an issue, the things that, you hear in the nightly news, the problems that we're having, drugs, sex trafficking, education, gender issues, or it can be something related to the church. So if there's a particular issue, for example, millennials in the church, what we're not looking for are particular organizational kinds of issues, right? So this is different than OD and Change. You're not kind of researching your particular organization and looking for issues that you'd like to address, but rather you're looking for sort of larger, more vexing kind of societal issues that encompass more than just one organization. So maybe it's something that has to do with your industry or your sector, but I want it to sort of transcend one particular organization, okay? So this might be challenging for you, but really what we're trying to do at the end of the day with this project is to apply leadership to solving these problems. And you guys are in a leadership program, and I'm trying to help you all to think about how some of these ideas and skills that you've been learning are going to apply to some of the larger issues that we face in our society and culture. So that's really kind of the big picture here. So have fun with it, respond to each other, challenge each other, encourage each other, maybe give each other food for thought. And again, it's broad in one sense, but like any research project, it has to be narrow and focused, right? So you can't say, well, I want to figure out, my case is the world and I want to solve the problems of the world. Well, that's clearly a large, vexing issue, but it's probably not going to be researchable. So make it broad enough to transcend a particular organization, but focused enough where you can actually do some research and make some recommendations. All right, so those are kind of the parameters of the projects that you're looking for. The other discussion question this week is going to be to actually review some already written case studies and apply some concepts of leadership. All right, so how nice is that? We're dovetailing what you're doing with your project with this case study, the existing case studies. So what you're going to do is you're going to review some of the case studies that align with the chapters that you're reading in our primary textbook, and you're going to use some of the theories of leadership to address those specific cases. All right, so this hopefully helps you kind of get a little more acclimated to where you're going with your case. So you're looking at a larger problem. Now these are, granted, these are more isolated organizational problems. These aren't kind of the large vexing problems of the world, but you'll still get an idea or you'll still get some practice of thinking about some specific leadership ideas and applying them to some specific organizational problems and contexts. All right, so there's a couple choices for you have to choose from, so pick whichever is the most interesting to you. All right, so that's what we're going to be doing in our second discussion. So hopefully you see some synergy here with the project and your own research, and then the reading that you're doing in the text, and how we're applying some of those specific leadership theories to these specific organizational issues. All right, so again, it might all still seem a little fuzzy to you, but take heart. I know that when you first embark a large project like this, you're just getting your feet wet. You're just kind of starting to, get a feel for the ideas, and in time, trust the process. It'll come together, and so that by the end you will understand the methodology and you'll be able to do the research yourself. So again, if you're feeling a little vague or fuzzy or confused, that's okay. You're probably in the right place. You shouldn't have it all wired and figured out right now. You should still be in that exploratory, I'm learning methods, I'm learning process. I'm trying to ask a good question, right? A good research question. I'm trying to find a place of interest, a place of study. That's all I'm asking you to do at this point. And trust the process and time. By the time you have to write this thing up and develop your actual project, it'll be all pretty clear in your head. All right, so that's about it. I'm looking forward to seeing your ideas this week. I'm looking forward to seeing how you all apply some of these leadership theories to specific case studies, and seeing some of the light bulbs go on as you wrestle with this project and with this introducing to this class. So blessings to you all. I'll see you online.